LeBron James' career has been nothing short of extraordinary. Ever since his NBA debut in 2003, there hasn't been a single season where he hasn't claimed an MVP point. He's won the award 4 times, and perhaps he deserved more. In today's video, we're going to talk about the all-time greats' MVP points per season. Let's dive in. First up, a look back at 2003 and 04. Fans have had very high expectations from King James from the very beginning of his career. In his first season alone, he proved he was as good as everyone thought he was. He became the first Cavaliers player to win Rookie of the Year, and only the 3rd player in history to start his career with 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. While his team ended up missing the playoffs, his performances meant they doubled their win total from the previous season. He captured 11 MVP points to finish 9th in the race, and that was just his rookie season. Next, his second season was a revelation of its own. As a 20-year-old prodigy, LeBron took the world by storm in the 2004-05 season. He set a new single-game scoring record for the Cavaliers by making it to 56 points against the Raptors. He was also named on the All-NBA team. In the end, he finished in 6th place and received 93 MVP points. Coming up, James finished 2nd in the 2005-06 season. When people make a case for LeBron's greatness, they often bring up the 2005-2006 season and claim that he should have won. He averaged over 30 points per game to go with his exceptional rebounding and assist line. Kobe Bryant was also fantastic in this season, as he led the league by scoring 35.4 points per game. But it was Steve Nash who took the award home for the 2nd consecutive season, probably because he made it to the elusive 50-40-90 club. LeBron ended up as the runner-up with 93 points. Following up the next season was tough for him. In 2007, LeBron received no first-place votes. He ended up with an underwhelming 183 points, and many analysts believe that he had regressed because of his questionable passing and shot selection. He found his form towards the end as the Cavaliers fought their way to the NBA Finals. James silenced all the hate, but the team just couldn't show up in the playoffs. Moving on, LeBron finished 4th in 2007 and 08. He was back to his very best in the 2007-08 season and won the scoring title with 30.0 points per game, as well as very strong passing and rebounding numbers. And although he didn't win the regular season award, he took home the All-Star Game MVP for his game of 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. Ultimately though, Kobe won the award for leading the Los Angeles Lakers to the #1 spot. LeBron finished in 4th place with 438 points to his name. Now LeBron blew away his competition in the next season. After 6 seasons of extraordinary performances, LeBron was finally recognized as the best player in the NBA in 2009. He also made the All-NBA first team and defensive first team, and he became only the 4th player to lead his team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Cleveland won a club record 66 game and boasted one of the best home records in league history. With his 1,172 points, he was far ahead of everyone else. Up next, he maintained the supremacy. In the 09-10 season, LeBron had to occasionally play point guard because of injuries in the team's backcourt, but even this didn't stop him from improving his scoring and playmaking. As a result, the Cavaliers finished with the best record in the NBA. LeBron was awarded 1,205 points with 116 first-place votes, and he finished as the MVP for the 2nd season in a row. In the playoffs, however, his team suffered a very disappointing loss, which fueled his decision to exit the franchise. Let's look at his first season with the Miami Heat. When LeBron came to the Heat in 2010, they already had a final MVP in Dwayne Wade. LeBron finished in 3rd place in the MVP race with 522 points, while Wade was 7th. The King proved he could thrive in a more competitive team, and that he wasn't going anywhere. Next up, he was back to the top in the 2011-2012 season. Miami had lost to the Mavericks in the finals last time around, something LeBron took to heart. He was a man on a mission this season, and because of his breathtaking performances, his team started the year 18-6. They didn't look back and made it all the way to the NBA Finals. Here, King James won his first final MVP award and was unsurprisingly named the league MVP as well. With 1,074 points, he finished ahead of Kevin Durant, who only had 889. Coming up, his last MVP award to date. The 2012-2013 season was almost 10 years ago, and James hasn't won an MVP award since. He was easily the best player in the league that year and led the Heat to a stunning 27-game winning streak. He shot 56.5% from the field, and Miami won a record-breaking 66 games. The King received received 1,207 points and 120 first-place votes. Unfortunately, he missed out on becoming the very first unanimous MVP winner by just 1 vote. Moving on, Durant finally finished ahead of LeBron. LeBron was again in top form in 2013 and 14 and ended with 891 points. In a historic game against the Bobcats, he scored a career-high 61 points. He played 77 games and led the Heat to the finals, where they came up short against the Spurs. And after falling behind LeBron for so long, Kevin finally got the best of his longtime rival, as he was named MVP. Following up, LeBron's return to the Cavaliers. As the legend made his return to the team that made him a star, he was regarded as a hero once again. Despite missing the first 2 weeks because of injuries in the 2014-15 season, he ended up in the top 3 in the MVP voting and won 552 points. The Warriors had an electrifying season this time around and defeated James and the Cavaliers in the finals to clinch the NBA title. Moving on, let's look at the 2015-16 season. The season was for Curry, who became the first unanimous MVP in league history, but all James wanted in the 2015-16 season was the championship. Despite a few underwhelming performances during the season, he led his team back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals and claimed the 2016 title. He was given 631 points and ended up 3rd in the race. Next, he continued to further his legacy. While players such as James Harden and Kawhi Leonard had finished ahead of him in the race, LeBron continued to impress NBA fans in 2016 and 17. He finished 4th in the race with his 333 points and achieved career heights in rebounds, assists, and turnovers. The Cavaliers had the 2nd best record in the East, and they returned to the NBA Finals. The winner of the awards season was none other than Russell Westbrook, who averaged the first triple-double for a season since Oscar Robertson. Let's look at his last season with Cleveland. During 2017 and 18, LeBron was back to his electric best. By the end, there were 2 frontrunners in the race. With 965 points, James Harden was named the MVP, while LeBron finished 2nd with 738. LeBron again choked in the NBA Finals, following which the King opted out of his contract and became a free agent. Moving on, LeBron led the league in assists in 2019 and 20. The Lakers brought out Anthony Davis to help LeBron, and together they formed the best 1-2 punch in the league. With their offensive and defensive strengths, the team cruised through the championship. This was the first time King James averaged double-digit assists. Even this late into his career, he was still improving. He won 753 points to finish 2nd to Milwaukee Bucks sensation Giannis Antetokounmpo. Next, he had just 1 point in 2020 and 21. The Lakers had a very tough season this time around and finished with an unflattering record of 42-30. Despite LeBron's efforts, they were an easy out in the playoffs. It was clear that the legend was nowhere near his best here. He sank near the bottom of the voting and only received 1 MVP point. Finally, LeBron achieved 30 points per game once again. In the 2021-22 season, the Lakers were again struggling. They failed to make the playoffs and faced a lot of criticism from fans. The only player who was praised was LeBron. At 37 years old, the superstar managed to average 30 points per game, and he even had 2 50-point games in March. This made him the oldest player to achieve this in the history of the NBA. Even though he was only given 1 point again, he continued his impressive streak of being named on the MVP list. He proved he wasn't done just yet. That's a wrap for this video. What was LeBron's best season in your opinion? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.